Welcome to PeopleTools Tech Tips. I'm Randy Groncki. Today we're revisiting cropping user images in the Fluid UI. In previous videos, we talked about user uploaded images and cropping and resizing and other utilities that you can use with them. Our videos demonstrated those image manipulation utilities in the classic UI. We also did a video on the Fluid UI in images and just dealt with presenting the images as far as putting them on the page and their sizing. What we found out during the research for the Fluid UI is that our crop image function that failed every time in the classic UI worked most of the time in the Fluid UI. Now, PeopleTools does have a case out there that opened up that know that this crop image function does fail in 8.5.8, and they're hoping to have it fixed in 8.5.9 or higher. So what happens? In Classic, you crop the image, you get a on ready state error, and you basically have a problem with your browser cache. The only way to go on is to clear your browser cache. In the Fluid UI, this works most of the time. You can crop, you crop your image, and it does go send the image to your target image field. Now, that works most of the time. Where it does have issues sometime in between the user saying, okay, save it, and it actually going to there. There's like a 1.5 to 2 second pause in the UI where the image, the modal window actually shrinks down to a very miniature version of the main page with all the buttons and controls on it before it disappears and puts that image on the page and the target thing. In this 1.5 to 2 seconds, the users can click on those buttons if they become confused of what's going on here, and if that happens, they're going to have an error on the ready state. Unfortunately, when you have your on ready state error, the only way to really fix that is delete your user's browser cache. It's not on the web server or anything, it's the user's cache, because it's not only that page that won't work anymore, it's pretty much most PeopleSoft pages won't work anymore. I think you get a download a bad JavaScript. Now, what's happened here that's causing this? I'm guessing that Oracle refactored the crop image function for Fluid. Now, we know things are different. In PeopleBooks, it's still the old 8.0 verbiage in there that shows the crop image returning a Boolean. We know from the People Code help text inside the editor that it now returns an integer. What we don't know are one of the options and what do they mean. We do know that a 0 is a successful crop to the target image field. We don't know what other integers are available or what those integers mean. So right now we're just going with a 0 or not. 0 is successful. The other values failed in some way or cancel or whatever. So that's what we have. So it works most of the time. If you have to do a crop or a resize, do them in Fluid so the user can use the utilities. Now, again, as I said in the other videos, Oracle is not an image processing company. They're not putting the resources towards them. There's Adobe and a whole bunch of other ones that do it well. As a matter of fact, the delivered utilities with the user's PC or Mac has much better image tools in there for manipulating those user images than Oracle's going to put in there or keep up with, such as format or crop or size or whatever have you. Have them do it there. But if you must put it there, make it Fluid for consistent UI and put the crop and the resize there. So just as a recap, in PeopleTools 8.5.8, the classic UI crop image fails. Fluid UI crop image works most of the time. Okay, going forward to 8.5.9, we're going to have to look at that and see if PeopleSoft was able to refactor again that crop image and get it to work in Classic as well as Fluid UI, as well as bringing a little bit more stability to the function in general. Thanks for watching. Please consider subscribing, and we'll see you next time here on PeopleTools Tech Tips.